What's up, everyone? Welcome to the first video on Astro Comics. This is my first review on the channel. Today we'll be reviewing Zagor issue 75, written by Jacob Rauch and drawn by Mario Laurenti. It came out in 2013 and it was published by Vesel Четвертак. I picked this comic up yesterday. It was in a 3-pack. Well, technically 4, because there was also like a little notebook thing with it. I don't really count it as a comic, though it has some pictures, but I don't think it's worth a review since it's pretty short. I can summarize it. But yeah, this is gonna be my first review, and I hope you enjoy it. Make sure to subscribe for future videos. So first of all, let's go over the art. Laurenti's got some pretty nice art here. I'll show some of my standouts in no particular order. First of all, we got the start of the comic in Gray Mountains. With some nice nature right here. His style is more simplistic, but I don't really mind it. So here's another one in Chico's Dream. I like the spaceship a lot. I do like a big panel to show off something in particular that's important. And also there's this one, which is my favorite, showing out the city that the main characters are getting to with the train. It's really nice, you know. As you can see, there are no, like, details. Much detail, for example, on faces. And there are not many, like, close-ups, but I don't really mind that. Though in the Zagor comic, there are a lot of close-ups to faces. So the comic starts off with these miners. They're mining on a hill, and they find this like weird metal thing with some encryptic stuff carved into it, and they don't know what to do with it, so they just leave it there. It's pretty mysterious and stuff. So we cut to so these soldiers, they're going to this town called Mineral Hill, through the same mountains where the miners found the weird metal thing. And meanwhile, Zagor and Chico, they're in a cave and are just trying to eat dinner. When they hear shots, and the soldiers are attacked by 3 bandits who kill majority of them except 2 people. So they try to execute the last soldiers when Zagor comes in and saves him. And meanwhile, it turns out that the dude who also survived, his name is Professor Very Bad. He knows Zagor and Chico. They've met each other in the past. So Zagor and Chico saved him, and after treating the soldier's wounds, his name is Lieutenant Lee, they all go together to Mineral Hill. So the gang arrives in Mineral Hill, and Zagor sees a dude named Jack Dabbing getting beaten up by a guy named Foster, and Zagor comes in there, beats up the Foster, and then the deputy Lassiter and the sheriff Karen, they come there too to see what's going on, and it's like one huge standoff. Lieutenant Lee also gets in, and basically they break up the fight, and then sheriff explains that the Dabin is a prisoner who just escaped his cell. He's just a criminal, and then Lassiter gets the gang to the chief of the mining company, Mackenzie. And so we learn from Mackenzie that the miners actually ran away from Windy Rock, the mountain they found the metal thing in, because they were scared. They didn't really knew what it was. And Mackenzie explains, so now there are only soldiers there to guard the place. And Zagor explains how him and his friends will actually go to Windy Rock with a train that comes there next day. So Mackenzie explained there will also be other people that will go there, and Zagor is interested in hearing and learning what happened in Windy Rock. What is the weird metal thing, and what could it mean, as well as the encryptic stuff written on it. So meanwhile, in the forest nearby, there are these 2 guys camping, and their dog Buster, he senses something. So Buster and this another guy, they go to check this out, and some weird, like, humans. I don't know if they're really humans. They don't really act like humans. They jump around and shit, and they basically kill this guy and his dog, and we don't really know what happens to the other guy. And meanwhile, Zagor and Chico wake up after a long night sleeping. And Chico explains how he hasn't really slept well, and the whole night he was explaining to everybody about ancient civilizations that him and Zagor encountered, like especially the Atlanteans from Atlantis. And after they're done, they go to the train to board it up, and there are other people there, like two brothers McClure and Dabin, and this couple, Coralie Kelly and her husband Sid O'Brien. He's a drunkard, and he's not really the nicest guy. So they all board the train, and they all get ready to go. But there's this guy. He starts saying some Bible shit. He starts saying some crazy ass prophecies, like he's high on fentanyl or weed, and basically he's like, the judgment day will come. A giant monster will come out of the earth, and I think he's referencing the giant metal thing that the miners found at Windy Rock, and basically he's like, the monster will rule over humanity and stuff. So everyone ignores him, thinks he's crazy. So they all go on this train, and they're just traveling over, talking to each other, and Chico falls asleep, and he wakes up, and he's like in Darkwood, which is, if you don't know, the forest where Zagor and Chico live, and it will all turn out to be a dream. But then the UFO picture that I showed you earlier? Well, it turns out that appears a giant UFO, and it was all just a dream. And then he wakes up on a train, and it's empty. And these two aliens called the Acronites, they appear and shoot him. It turns out that was also a dream. And Chico just was sleeping, and he fell down because the train suddenly stopped. So it turns out the railway was blocked by some rubble, and Zagor and Deputy Lassiter, they go out to investigate to see what's happening because they saw some binocular flashes in the distance. So they go to investigate, and this dude, this like crazy guy, just jumps at them, and he wants to kill Lassiter, but Zagor appears and knocks him out with his axe. And this dude must have been high on some crazy shit, because what the hell is wrong with him? And it turns out the drugs he was using are also the fungus from The Last of Us, because he has some weird stuff on his face. It's like some kind of disease, but very bad, who's a professor, who's a scientist. He doesn't know what it is either. So after cleaning up the rubble, the train continues, and they get to Windy Rock, but the whole town was empty despite the soldiers who lived there, and like the train brought them supplies, so they should have been excited. They should have come out to get food and water and other stuff like ammo, but the whole town is empty, and everyone goes to see what's going on. Everyone leave the train, except a few people. so Zagor, Chico, very bad. Lassiter and Sheriff Karen, they all go out to investigate the town to see what's going on, while everyone else stays in the train. And it turns out that the dude they brought in, who attacked Lassiter, he's the crazy guy. Turns out he like tentacles come out of his fucking stomach, and he's like going crazy. There's so many. It looks like that scene in The Thing. I mean, not the scene, but that scene in The Thing where Dr. Copper tries to revive that guy, and the dude's stomach opens up and like eats his arms. Like, that's what it looks like. There's just tentacles in his round. It's like pure body horror shit. And that's the end of this comic. It continues in the next issue, and I don't got it, but I'll try and get it. It's a pretty old issue, so But if I can't get it, I'm pretty excited to see what happens and to know what these things are. Now, at the end of the comic, I'll show you now. So as you can see at the end of each Zagor comic, you can obviously see the next issue and some sneak peeks. So you see, these are these things. That's the dude from the end of the comic. And I don't know who this is. I don't recognize him. I hope it's not a spoiler alert. But you see, there'll be like some crazy shit. These are like some zombies. It looks like some really scary stuff. So I'm looking forward to it.
So that's the end of the comic. Overall, I liked it. I thought it was not much action. I obviously like plot over action, but there could have been more action sequences. And but I'm looking forward to what's going to happen next. I mean, it's an interesting concept. You know, you don't really see that much horror in Zagor comics or comics in general. They don't like horror. Uh, and I like the monster design. So I think Rauch did a really good job at writing, and I like Laurenti's style. Overall, I'll give this comic a 7.5. I thought it was pretty good. So yeah, I liked it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and look forward to the next review. See ya.